Well, a couple dreams. A couple dreams I want to talk to you about. Just for the record kind of thing. But before that, I just had this thought. I have different subscribers. They've never heard the treasure story about me, JC, and Dave and all that. And, we haven't been back in a while. But we we got out there because I went out there in 2018, November, to go to a friend of mine's out there for the first time ever, go in the mountains, drone a couple sites he thought was interesting, and okay, and went out there. While I was out there, and I didn't tell anybody I was even going out there except my wife. Dick Algar sends me an email, and a couple guys, friends that are on there, like as CC'd on the email. So I'm out there Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Monday I'm at the hotel looking at, the footage, not really knowing what I'm looking at, but some interesting sights on the side of a mountain, or not sights, but interesting stuff that's like someone, you kind of get the feeling someone might have been here before, but like everything just kind of looks a little bit out of place, but there's no openings or anything. But so I'm just looking at the footage. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't checked email in like 2 days. Let me check tonight. So I open my email, November 28th, 2018. And, it says Wednesday. So what, or did I forward that to myself then? I don't know. Anyways. Dick Algar. Subject, RV work, remote viewing work. I know somebody wants me to work a remote viewing target. I haven't been formally tasked yet, meaning I wasn't given a target ID, but I did a freeform S5 ERV session today. Now, he's saying, I know somebody wants me to work a remote viewing target. He knew somebody wanted him to do a target before a target was even created and given to him. So, I decided before I left to even go to New Mexico, I thought to myself, I might send Dick Algar my own task and ask, hey, can you run, I'm not going to tell him what it is, but hey, of which you don't, here's the ID that I created, remote view without ID code, and see what he said. But I go, well, I don't even know where I'm going yet. I think I know the mountain range, but that's it. So I'm thinking, wait, go drone some stuff. If you see anything interesting, then make that a target to get them him or them to remote view. And ask, is there treasure in the mountain? What is this? What is this? Why does this look like someone's been here before me? What is that? And he could target, go into the target and take a look. So I never gave him anything to do. I just thought, no, I'll wait until I get back home. If I even see anything interesting, then I'll ask if he can do a remote viewing target for me, and I'll just make up my own ID and give it to him. He'll still never know what it is, so, it's not like I'm front loading him. So that's what his response is, right off the bat. Not even a response. That's him sending me an initiating contact email. I know somebody wants me to work a remote viewing target. I haven't been formally tasked yet, meaning I wasn't given a target ID, but I did a freeform S5 ERV session today. Now what that means is nobody formally gave him a target to do the process. Okay, here's the ID code. Okay, I'll do my thing. It's like going and saying, all right, universe, show me anything I need to see right now. And then he goes and does the process without being tasked. And he saw something. It was both interesting and disturbing. You have to understand that when in this state, as in state of mind, images swim into focus and ideas form, but I don't get a logical, chronological sense of any story. Much of it seems disjointed. I arrived on target, looking at water, and I was in motion, as if on a boat or ship of some kind. My first thought was, Jay Snip needs to wear his hat and put on some sunscreen. I sensed one of those tan soft sun hats with the floppy brim all the way around and a cord that you pull up under your chin. I saw a debris field, things scattered and strewn about in a brown surface that could have been mud, silt, or sediment. I couldn't determine what any of the objects were. They seemed broken and worn. but I had a sense that they were man-made objects, very old. Pieces of things settled in the silt with angles protruding, lumps of things. At one point, I saw a large container, like a box or chest. Think, old wood, rotting metal hinges and clasps, and I saw gold coins. Lots of gold coins. Could have been other things like chains or crucifixes, but mostly my attention was drawn to the coins. As I tried to consciously analyze this, the attempt at logical thought bumped me off target. I was startled to find myself in the here and now place where I was conducting the session. I came to and made a few notes and sketches. I settled back down, went into theta awareness, which is a state of mind, and I again saw round shapes that I took to be coins. But they lacked the same brilliance. These were grayish in color, and I got a sense that they were embedded in sediment or caked with silt or mud. These were not in any container. They seemed more spread out and strewn about. Is this underwater or under sediment? As I attempted to shift my focus and broaden survey of this place, I started seeing human forms. Forms in various positions, arms askew, bent, or curled up, lumps of pieces of bodies. These were the same grayish-brownish color, reminding me of human forms encased at Pompeii. It was like I was seeing the last agonizing moments of many people who died in violent ways, and their bodies were left in place. I saw decomposing bodies and partial skeletons. I had a sense of this being very old, historic, and it all created a very bad feeling of unease, violence, suffering, and death. I saw color images of what seemed to be seals or crests or emblems, bold colors in red and black, a flag of vivid red and green with something gold intertwined, different shapes in banners, red and gold with a seal or emblem, a flag of yellow and white with a complex golden seal, accents of red. I can try to sketch these. They came at me in bunches like a patchwork, but I sensed they represented countries, organizations, or orders. And these ideas came to me. The owners want their shit back. It is treasure, but it is linked to suffering, repression, and death. This is possibly cursed. If I found this, I would not take it. If I did take it, I would donate 90% to some orphanages and have the rest blessed or do an exorcism on it, if you can even do that to an object. This feels like a dark, forbidden historical target. If any of this is interesting to anyone, I can make some sketches and do a video. The appropriate soundtrack would be something along the lines of Chevalier de Sangreal. Anyways, after that, the boys at the remote crypto viewing, my guy Ed, not Ed Reardon, a different Ed, he went ahead and tasked this appropriately, created an ID, this is what we want to know, and then gave it to him. And I don't know if I should share this or show this. Maybe I'll perhaps, I need to copy. I'll get into the dreams in a second. This is for the new people that never had no idea. Like, what treasure hunting? What are you talking about? You done that? Yeah, I kind of got forced into it after I heard this shit. I'm like, I can't walk away from this now. You kidding me? So let me just kind of scroll up, and I'll go over this kind of quick, and then I'll get into the dreams, which have nothing to do with this. So here it is. And I'll remove my camera for now. JSnip, Woo Woo Raiders of the Golden Bounty RV session. So this is the start of the JSnip quest for Golden Bounty hidden somewhere out there in the desert. This is what we tasked the team with, and Dick's session is attached. The rest for the team to come, we'll post a remainder later today. Crazy stuff. Don't show this to Spielberg. He might have a crazy idea. Bring old Indy back for another go. I think there's a whiteboard session to accompany this. We'll have more later. So, This is the ID W7B6-P4W. I guess that's a 1. Yeah. So he starts with some flags here. Flag or emblem. And he did send me the sketches of all the flags. And they were like that. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? But it was enough that I found all 4 flags. Spain, Portugal, Vatican City, and Mexico City, essentially. Land 1, Rocky Bluff. Wide vista, no buildings, wide open, mild climate, birds, insects, smell of juniper, pinyon, pine, sage. That is literally what is in that mountain. Dry, timeless history. Looks similar to Roswell, meaning I think this person's in New Mexico and similar to climate to Roswell, which Roswell is in New Mexico. Surveys lands, person from behind, looks out over broad land. Well, that's me. He's essentially drawing. Underground vault. Still, timeless, complex, hidden, smells musty, earthly, decay. Decoy chamber. Old, old, old. No value, decoy. Some value, decoy. And then there's another one. Bones, skulls, skeletons. This is hidden. Life, human number 1. Wear your hat. Male, 40s. Sunscreen seeking. Impatient. Driven. No patience. Wants to make this happen now. Modern, current time. That is literally me. I guess I can put my screen back up because it's all on the left side. I'm not blocking anything. And that's so true. When I found out about this, I'm like, oh my God, I got to get back there. We got to start digging. But where do I dig? How do I find out where to dig? Because I don't really know. And I use my psychic friends and the remote viewers to help me figure that out. And we are on an area now that we haven't made much progress, but we'll see. Life, human 2, helmet. Dark eyes, dark heart. Headgear, helmet. Helmet turned up. Raspy voice. Small, speaks flowery, smells bad, carries a flag, commands men, rapes women, brutal, vicious, mean, killer, thief. That, which I think will be later, I'll explain that in a minute. Life, human number 2, more. That's this other guy, the same guy. Haughty, arrogant. In a time when his superiors are so far away, distance, communication all but impossible. He feels in charge, no accountability. No one will ever know of his actions and crimes. Curved helmet. He subjugated people, cruel, torment, punish, kill, enslave, steal, retribution. Phonics of the guy's name. Don, Korean for Mong, Don, Quinot, whatever, Don, Juan, Don, Oro, something. I went and did research and found 1592, I think was the year, the King of Spain sent Don Juan Onati to what is now Santa Fe, New Mexico, to rule the land under the name of Spain and enslave the Indians. And he brutalized the Indian. I'm back. You could go research the guy, find that name right now. Don Juan Onati, O-N-A-T-E, I think is how it was spelled. And I read the history on him online. I go, holy shit, that's the dude. I'm like, Dick Algar, I found him. Holy shit, just enough you gave me there was enough. And everything he's describing here is essentially what happened. And the King of Spain had to pull him out of there because he was causing so much trouble. And stripped him of his titles. And said, you're never going back there. You caused me too much problems. And I found the freaking guy. Life 3. Human. Life of human 3. Leathery face. Feathers. Head covering. Long hair and back bald in front. Very powerful presence. Powerful, spiritual, shaman, indigenous. Amulet, spirit, world power. He made one of the curses. Magical powers, uses herbs, burn things, powders, charms, sacred stones, little bags of bone dust. Things hold power. Decoy chamber. There is a fake hidden chamber with decoy artifacts, although he put will, with decoy artifacts that are worthless. Metal that is not shiny, dull, corroded, meant to be found but not too easy. Bones, skulls, gray, no color, meant to be found, thrown off the trail. Next level decoy chamber. Has some value. Underground, more bones and skulls. Warning symbols. Text in old language, Roman or Latin or formal Spanish, he says. Which I would say, yeah, formal Spanish, old Spanish. Little bit of gold, some jewels. Main trove. Skulls, bones, gold nuggets, gold dust, some coins, figurines of gold, jewelry, decaying wood chest, metal clasps, hinges, leather pouches with bluish green gemstones, old leather pouch filled colorful gemstones. And by the way, I just saw something today. Oh, there's a black diamond that's going to be sold as 50 carats, and they think it's going to bring $6 to $8 million at an auction. They think it's from outer space. I'm thinking, as soon as I heard that on TV, I go, I bet the shit that I'm going to be finding when I get my ass finally into that mountain somehow will make that stuff pale in comparison. Because one of the psychics have told me, Joe, there's shit gemstones that you're going to pick up, one of them in one hand, and it's going to be large. And I'm like, wow, interesting, okay. So here's some of the flags. Indigenous symbols, animal like turtle. And again, I found all the flags. I found them all. Conquerors, slaughter indigenous, overpowered. Many die. Problems with this hidden treasure. Ownership. It belongs to those who own the flags. Deaths and suffering. The torment, torture, human suffering has rubbed off or become embedded in the objects. The shaman put a curse on it. The curse has been reinforced and kept active throughout generations. He told descendants to, quote, keep it living, give it power. So keep doing these ceremonies to keep it alive. It is haunted by souls of guardians who gave their lives to hide it. This has very, very bad energy on many levels. The conquerors killed many indigenous to get to the treasure. The indigenous rose up and fought back and killed some of the conquerors. The conquerors in turn punished the indigenous brutally. The conquerors hid the loot, but the indigenous knew where and put decoys. Some died hiding it. They put curses on it. This has a long trail of bodies and bad spirits. I don't know the indigenous terminology. In Hawaiian it would be kapu. They put it up a symbol meaning forbidden. Don't touch. Don't enter here. This place has a strong kapu. Be very careful. I would not go near it and have concerns about even remote viewing it. It felt guarded by dead spirits who projected death, torment, suffering as a repellent. That was a session. And I'm sitting here going, holy shit. I can't leave this alone. But I don't want to die either. And over a period of time, he described to me, not in here, what does the outside look like? And he drew it. He drew some things. And I go, Dick, you just drew the pathway out to the mountain. And I've never sent him any video footage. He goes, well, here's the mountain, here's the way in. He's like, it's over here. There's like a real sharp ravine that has these features. Da, da, da. So I found one that had all the features he described, except a couple. And I'm going, well, maybe that's it. And I sent him a video, and he's like, I mean, that looks like it could be it. You know, I'm like, he's like, I don't know for sure, but it does look very similar. All right, and I'm just, I don't know. I've droned it a few times. I don't see anything that some clue things he told me to look for. But there was another one also out there that I just never droned. And every time I went by it, my whole body was screaming, you need to stop sometime and drone this. You did not drone this one yet. And I would just keep going by it. Oh, we got to go eat. We're hungry. We're leaving. Oh, I don't have time now. Finally, I'm doing this, damn it. And I droned it. And I am very, in my mind, certain I found it. It has all of the things he told me to look for. And I found what I believe I know now are two Spanish symbols that I didn't know about before. I knew about one, but not the other yet. Now I do. That one is pointing at this, basically the entrance this way, and one's way up here, a different symbol. pointing at the same entrance. So you have basically almost a triangulation, 2 points hitting, and they're pointing to this entrance. And it's not an open entrance, so you don't just walk in. You have to dig to get in, but I know where, I think. So I asked my guides, Evelyn, look at this, my wife. Here's this paused video of the one I think it is. Ask your guides, is this the one Dick Algar saw? She gets a dream that night. She goes, Joe, I just had a dream that I was inside of a cave, a cavern. And our son Ian is in a high chair, and I'm just feeding little Ian. His little, this is back when he was really young. Really, baby. Here you go. And I'm like, wow. Interesting, because I too had a dream last night. I was running away from the mountain because a big ass bear was trying to eat me alive. If it got anywhere near me, it was going to kill me. And I'm running, and I see a car, and I'm screaming to stop, let me in. They didn't want to at first, and then they saw the bear, and then they're like, oh shit, all right, let's let this guy in. Now we know why he's screaming at us to let him in. And I just got away, like, oh, it almost got me. So I wake up, and I'm like, Evelyn, this is obvious to me. Yes, this is it. You're in there feeding our baby in the cave. You never had a dream like that in your life. And you're in a cave feeding him. I'm running away essentially from the cave or the mountain because something's going to kill me. What does that mean? That means you found it. And it's true. It's very dangerous. There are spirits there. There is a curse there. And your effing life's in danger. So later on, I got another dream when I wasn't really asking. I had to go up there briefly and get some shit out of storage and come back. And that wasn't that long ago. And I did. And I just asked one night, sleeping on the way there, and I think I took the RV, and I said, and I had a friend with me that's an electrician, and I said, I think I want to go over to that area. We can 4-wheel over there, get over there. We can get over there and then get out and then hike a little ways and get to this area. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to mess with it, but I would like to leave a nice offering to the spirits and stuff, those who died. And not ask for anything, just leave. So he's like, oh, all right, whatever, So I thought, okay, so we're driving for a while. Then time to go to bed, pull over, let's go to bed. And I just asked my guides, if there's anything I need to know about this trip, the house that we Airbnb, the trip there, the stuff in storage, the way back, honestly, the mountain, whatever. So I think it was it was a regular pullover, rest stop. Pull over, all right, you sleeping up there, I'm sleeping back here, go to bed, ask my guys, show me anything I need to know about this trip. And I get a dream, and I just want to repeat it to save a little bit of time now. Clear as day, warning, again, little interpretation needed, very little. Warning, second time, your life is in danger. Not you could be harmed. Your life is in danger messing with this thing. Do not go anywhere near this thing. Okay. Don't need any more warnings. I'm good. So we went, this whole mountain we think is a repository of a lot of old treasure. And they never came back and got it. Too late. Things changed, whatever. All those ships sunk on the 1715 fleet and all that shit. And I think the Spanish just had so much trouble, we can't go back and get the rest of it. So it's sitting in, these mountains waiting to be rediscovered. And I had Sharon Michelle, as another psychic, look at some pictures I sent her of a different area where I did drone. And she goes, picture number 6 is the one. Picture 6 is it. And I'm like, okay. So long story short, we went up there, picture 6. And we're pretty sure the signs are pointing to, time to start digging. So that was a little bonus to start this off with. All right, that's all. I just wanted to, for all the new people, never had any clue we were into this kind of stuff. Now for my dreams. I had a dream I was heading down I-4, heading towards downtown Tampa, and in that area right before it meets 275, I saw a massive, incredibly large tornado. It seemed like there was more than one, but one of them was huge and destroyed a few sections of the interstate like you'd expect an earthquake to do. I found myself trapped on one of those sections, that was like an island because it broke off on both sides, probably 30 to 50 feet missing on each side, you know, the front and back. And I remember seeing my car and then somebody else's car in that section, and it was a very clear day also, which was also strange because, you know, tornadoes don't usually happen in nice clear weather, you know what I mean? And but as I remember back now, like, okay, well, what did it look? Did you see the thing really spinning? And I'm going, not really. It was more like a big giant dust cloud, but I've just like felt like that's a tornado. A lot of damage. So I go away with this thinking, well, either an earthquake's going to happen because the tornadoes can't typically take out an interstate like that. You know what I mean? Where there's, you know, that kind of destruction. But the earthquakes can. So I thought, maybe they're just showing it me this way. But again, I didn't really see the big swirly thing. It was just a big giant dust cloud that I thought was this big tornado, but it was so dusty, you couldn't see the funnel. You know, that's just what I thought. And it seemed like, well, there was one or two other small ones around there, you know, like, I don't know. So I'm just saying that because maybe something's going to happen here. And I don't usually come out and do my videos. Hey, I've got a dream. I always tell you later. I wrote this in my dream book, but now I just want to do one in advance in case this happens. Yeah, so that was that. The other dream, which was like a couple days ago, Saturday. So Saturday night to Sunday. And I didn't ask Spirit, hey, show me something with the crypto market. I just like, yeah, Spirit, anything I need to know right now tonight, you know, please give me a dream. And I get like 3 or actually 4 dreams, separate dreams, all different. One in particular. Now the numbers 3 and 15 came up, one in one dream, 3 gold bars I found. I was treasure hunting. And we were at this old, it was like old times, in this front of this old castle, and at the very top of where the entrance is like this removable big brick, and we just like had an idea, we knew it was up there, so we climbed up to the top, we're kind of sneaking up there, didn't want anyone watching us. We were allowed to be in this castle. It was like old times, like we were back in the future, you know. And we pulled out these 3 gold bars, and they're typical common Spanish gold bars. I put one in my left pocket, one down the center of my pants and my underwear, and then one in my right pocket because I'm like, we got to walk out of here. And those things weigh like 15 or 20 pounds. Like, you know, are they sticking out? And they're like, no, just kind of, well, maybe a little bit. Just stick. The one in your center, you know, is hidden good, but your pocket one's like, just kind of walk and tap on your legs, or like, you know, just keep your hands halfway down there. No one will see it. So we get down. I'm doing it. No one's even looking. No. We get into like this little room where it's just us 3. It's probably JC and Dave. I don't remember who was with me. It was probably them 2. Because there was 2 people. And then I pull them out, like the 2 out of my pockets anyways. And I'm like, we're just looking at it like, oh my God, we got it. We found it. We found effing treasure. And that was that dream. But there was 3 gold bars. And the next dream, I had a combination lock at a cubicle I was working at, and the number to unlock the desk or something was like 15. So 3, one dream, 15 another dream. And I thought, does this mean March 15th something? You know, I don't know. And then I had another dream that's not even worth mentioning because I didn't take anything out of that to be part of the crypto thing. So I'm just leaving that one out. And then I had a crypto dream. And you know, John Kim, possibly on Twitter or whatever, was real close, still is friends with Charlie Lee of Litecoin. And I think he was part of the Litecoin Foundation for a while too, John Kim. But anyways, we're friends. He's been to my house a couple times. We've done some little fun parody videos. So he's in this dream, and he's at my house, and he brought one of his UFC MMA friends with him, which he knows a lot of those people because he used to do that stuff. And this guy was like ripped. The guy he brought, I don't know who this was, but this guy was ripped, you know, and never spoke. He just sat there, and then I'm just there, and John's like, oh my God, the freaking crypto market is tanking. Holy shit, Ethereum's at $408. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, it was just $4,000. And he goes, I know, it's 408. And then I'm like, well, what's XRP? I say this in the dream, what's XRP? And I'm going to leave this price out because I tell my Patreons, you know, I'll give you a little bit for free here, but he tells me the price of XRP. It too, if right now, looking at both of those prices of Ethereum and XRP, looking at where these would be going if this dream's right, holy shit, it's going down pretty low. And I'm going, whoa. But also in the dream, I'm going, I've got to buy some right now. Oh my God, my orders at such and such filled. And then I go, oh no, you already canceled those orders out, dummy. You bought Matic recently, which is true. I did. So I'm in the dream. I realize this, and I go, shoot. But I'm going, no, not shoot, because the price I had in real life for my buyback in XRP, it's a lot lower than that in the dream. So now I get to buy it even cheaper. So I was like, oh well, my stablecoin's gone because I used it for Matic. I'll just use my bank account now. It's been a long time. I'm going to go with my bank account. How much should I buy? This much or that much? Do I have that much in my bank account? You know, I'm like doing this in my head in the dream. And I'm like, John, what's the price of Theta? And that was an interesting thing. I got to leave that out as, you know, Patreon information only. But I'll say Ethereum. He says 408. Now right now it's about $3,000. That would be one hell of a drop to do that. You know what I mean? But it took no interpretation in this dream to go, well, I asked about this one coin before I went to bed, and they gave me this weird number, so I think that's the price, or maybe that's the date. No. He's literally telling me, holy shit, the market's crashing. What's happening? Ethereum's down to 408. What's the price of XRP? He tells me, holy shit. What about Theta? Oh, okay. I got to go on the, Coinbase right now and buy. And I was stuck going, and it dropped another penny, I'll tell you that much, after I logged into Coinbase. I go, oh shit, it's another penny down right now from what he just said. I got to buy right now. And I'm like, well, how much do I buy? Well, it might be too much. I don't know if I want to take that much on my bank account. Do I have that much? I'm calculating this in the dream. And then it stops there. I don't think I ever pulled the trigger on, okay, do the buy order or not. So a few people, psychics and stuff, are thinking, just FYI, around March might be like whatever's happening crypto, oh, it's back up again, and like that might be a time to go, time to take some profits, because April might not be pretty. And there's a little bit of consensus between some of the psychics, not definitely not all. And that kind of might go in line. Again, March 15, 315, 3 gold bars, 15 combination. If that's what it means. That would be middle of March. That would be possibly, anyways, prime time to maybe take the profit if this drop in April is coming. And I can't say for sure. I don't know. But I want to just get this out there and tell you guys that. Give you a little treasure bonus story in the beginning. And that whole story is a long story of how that whole thing happened, and the spiritual side and the weird things that happened while we were out there. Me, JC, and Dave, we told most of the story on his old channel a while back, and then he got terminated, so that story's gone. And there's one or two parts I've never told really publicly. It was just a spirit encounter, not spiritual, a spirit encounter. It started with me and my wife, who came out there for a few days, and then me immediately after, because we got scared off and ran away. And I'm like, I got to go back up, Evan. I got to go back up. I got to go back up. And I did, and then it happened again. And I'm like, okay, I need to figure out what this is. Is this scary, or is this, hey, we're just letting you know we're here? And that's part of the story I'll tell one day. But I think we might have to have a 3 dudes in the desert rehash again with me, JC, and Dave, and where we basically tell the story from the beginning. And I might tell you that part, like just publicly say, all right, I think I'm ready now to just say what happened. It was just a personal thing. It was for me only. They had already went home, and I had to stay later to get a piece of equipment that was taking too long, got caught in customs. And it basically is like a ground scanner that can possibly tell you if there's a void down there. And I'm like, I've got to go scan this ground, because I'm pretty sure there is where we're at. And as soon as I turned it on, whatever was out there spooked me. And I look at Evelyn, she looks at me, and I didn't even get to start the scan yet. I just turned it on. I'm like, I know what that sounds like. Whoa. And then it did it again, and then it did it again, and I'm like, oh my god, we gotta get out of here right now. Let's get the F out of here. So that's why I was like, I gotta go back up. I have to go back up. I gotta get that scan. And went back up, started to get the scan ready, and it did it again. And I'm going, okay, I think whatever this is telling me, hey, you better not do that. Use that equipment here. Not a good idea. So I just shut it off. And I don't know that, but I shut it off. And I said, you know what? I stayed an extra week. I had my wife come up just for the hell of it. And I'm not even going to get the scan. I waited for this $4,000 piece of equipment to come in. Had to stay at the Airbnb later so I could get it. But in doing so, by the way, forced me to stay later. Fred the Indian and his wife come to town. Never met him, never heard of him. One of the Indian ladies we know says, hey, this guy's in town, wants to do another. They just go randomly doing these Native American healing sessions to people, and they ask for donations, and that's it. You donate whatever you want. But his truck broke down. He was leaving. He already did one and was leaving. And they need to fix it. It's kind of expensive. We're trying to get like $100 per person to help him get the head gaskets fixed. And I go, count me and my wife in, $200. I'm like, Evelyn, we had some weird shit happen up here with the Indian people. It was awesome. Now you might get to experience them. This is cool. So we went. I had no idea what to expect. And he started going around the group of people, talking to them like a psychic. And he got to my wife, and I'm listening. And I'm like, we don't know any of these people here. He don't know my story. But he told me my story when he got to me. And he says, you're gonna find what you're looking for. And, oh, by the way, there's more than one location you're gonna find what you're looking for. You'll find that one, there'll be another one, you'll find that one, there'll be another one, you find that one. Like that. And then he gives me this gold flake. He says it's very important that I take this. And I'm going to tell you, I found later why he even had this little tiny gold flake to begin with. And he'd been holding on to it for years. And he had to give it to me, he said. And that was one incredible revelation to me. The backstory to the flake, how he got it, and now he's handing it to me. I didn't know this at the time, but I made friends with him, and then I would talk to him for the last couple years. Got his phone number, and we're like good buddies now. And I help him sometimes with some donation money for things he's trying to do like recently we did one for Patreon, on Patreon for his people at the Navajo reservation that need blankets, need food, need stuff for this winter. And I'm talking people, some of them don't have electricity, they live in the hogans, like old school, and they're old, they're not out there farming, they can't really farm, it's a desert climate. So we raised a nice chunk of change for them, and then he was like taking pictures, hey, look, yep, we're getting blankets today, I'm getting this, da, da, da. And it was great, man. So I've helped him help people, different people too. And there's just, it was like a destiny, only God above, source could do this. And if I didn't stay late, I would have missed that whole thing. And then it was the next day I took Evelyn up to the spot, and this thing happened that scared us. But I realized later, you shouldn't have been scared. And if I'm ready to tell it, and I might be, I'll finally reveal what all happened. And on that thing. But man, was that, it was one hell of an experience. And then I've came home a few weeks later, once I knew what it was, and asked it to do it again, like for confirmation, and I'm ready for it now. I'm not scared. Can you do it here in Florida, or do I have to come back to New Mexico to show me basically your presence type of thing again? It did it at my house here in Florida about 2, maybe 3 days later, and I was like, holy shit. And then on the way back, when I told you I did that quick trip to New Mexico and back to get stuff out of storage, stayed at that Airbnb for, I don't know, 2 days or so. It's better than sleeping in an RV the whole time. You got to hook up to shit and dump the crap. It's just easier to stay in someone's house. But anyway, so it was on the way back that that thing, whatever that was, I invited it to chill with me up in the front. And long story short, it showed up. And it was again, I'm probably gonna tell the whole story. So I need to get with JC and Dave, say, all right guys, we need to have one hell of a long live stream. It's probably gonna be at least a 2-hour live stream to tell this whole story. And we'll just get it out there and talk about it and where, you know, kind of where we are. Which right now we haven't broken into an opening like a, you know, a tunnel, but we stopped and haven't been back because of COVID. JC's locked down in Canada. Dave's dealing with real estate stuff in California, and I'm like, I kind of could go, but I'm like, no, I could just feel it. It's not time, man. It's just there's something that has to happen. Maybe politics, Trump, you know, like deep state, that has to be has to be dealt with. I don't know how to say it, before we'll be allowed into the mountain. To put it that way. And I don't know how soon that's going to be. So I'm like, well, I did my big Sheba trade and I got a damn helicopter and I'm training in it right now. I'm like, I might have my private pilot license in the next 2 months. You know, in all fairness, maybe sooner. And maybe just in time to go back to, you know, New Mexico or whatever. So at that point, we could fly all over that damn place and, you know, make it much easier to get to some of the places. But, you know, some of our sites and stuff that we have, because you can get mining claims, and one of the good ones is on my friend's private property. You don't need a permit or a whatever, you know, anything mining claim on that. So we got stuff to do, but I just felt like, you know, I don't want to sit here and do nothing. And since I could get the helicopter, and I did get it, like, learn how to fly it. Be ready so that when you do go back from that day forward, you're licensed. You are a pilot. You're a private pilot. You can take your friends and family, even though it's a 3-seat helicopter. You know, me, JC, and Dave, there's 3 of us. And if I had another person or 2 we needed to bring, okay, I'm dropping you 2 guys off. I'll be right back. Let me grab the other 2 people. Land. Hey, guys, get in. Right back up. Done. Like, fast. What would take us, you know, an hour and a half or so to do, get up there, slowly go up the mountain, because it's a horrible mountain road. You got, you know, you got to have 4-wheel drive. You know, it just takes a long, you know, that's an hour and a half up, hour and a half back down. Like, holy, there's 3 hours gone. And I'm thinking I could lift off and be probably at our one spot in like 15 minutes. Maybe. Maybe 15 minutes. Maybe like 10. And I'm going, yeah, okay. So anyways, I'm keeping myself busy, getting my dreams, Patreon stuff, helicopter, study some more, you know, for that stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm hoping that shit gets cleared up politically, worldwide, you know, soon. I'm hoping, you know, but, you know, whatever. And then maybe we can get the okay from the mountain, so to speak. Now you guys can come in. And then next trip, oh, boom, we got in. We're into some hole somewhere or whatever, you know. And maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something not. You know, I can't say for sure that. I'm using psychic information and, you know, remote viewing. And come to find out, the remote viewing site's a different one. The other one's another one. And like the Indian told me, it's like, one's over here, you'll find that one. There's one over here, you're going to find that one. There's another one over there, you're going to find that one. And then we got a lead while we were out there. That was a really good lead that no one had ever really heard of, mostly. And everyone's tried to look for this based on this map that was drawn, and there's an alignment from a rock way up above down to a huge rock down below that no one had found any of the clues in the map that this Indian man a long time ago drew. And the 2 days before, this guy's going to call me to talk to me, make sure I want to take this lead, you know, like I'm going to go work and I'm not just going to take it and do nothing. And he says, I'm going to give you the information, but then I'm going to send you a map after that. He goes, I'll call you once you get the email, call me, and then I'll explain the words that were written and then the map too. Like, okay. Well, as soon as I saw the map, I see the Indian wrote, essentially, there's an alignment. He didn't say it this way, but there's a certain alignment with a certain rock that he describes what the rock is that goes to another rock down below. And there's another rock there by the big rock that looks like a certain way. And I'm going, oh my God, I think me, Dave, and JC droned this when we were over in that area 2 days ago. And I had no effing clue this guy is going to give me a map that has something on there that I've already done. And nobody else has done this. So I already found a key alignment the Indian that wrote the map said to look for. And then I got the map. There's not a chance in hell, in my mind, or JC and Dave's, that was an accident and I'm just lucky. I'm just a lucky son of a bitch. Something is there helping and guiding us because it knows the kind of people we are and the kind of good we will do with what we find there. And yeah, we will keep some, but it has to be helping the Indians. That's the goal that I have to do with what I find, and create a trust, get some money in there. Boom, go around the different tribes. What do you guys need? What would help you? Not, give us some money and let us go party. No. What do you need really? And that's my mission. And I think honestly, because I'm not just saying that, I really will do it. Spirit knows, okay, he's legit. Let's help him out. Let's nudge him in the right direction. And that's exactly what we got. So I droned that with my newest drone on that one trip I'm telling you about, where I had to go get some stuff out of storage. And it was just a brief thing. And this controller, it has a real small screen on it. Whereas my other drone, I used to tie it to the iPad. I had a nice bigger screen where I could really look at what I'm looking at. But I can still see what's going on. But if I'm like flying by something and there's like an opening over here, I may not see it on this little screen. And sure enough, when I got home to Florida and I'm looking at the video on my laptop, oh my God, there is an area you can't see from any angle. No matter where you're standing, you can't see this. But if you're in the sky in a helicopter or a drone, there is one little spot that you can fly to and just sit there and look in a certain direction and go, holy shit, there's a piece of the mountain missing high up, but it doesn't go all the way to the top, and the top is covered too. So like, you can only see it from a bird's eye view. And I swear, as I looked off to the right, not while I was flying it because I didn't see it, but as I'm flying this way, this thing's over here in the peripheral. So I paused the video and I'm like looking at it going, oh my God, I think either there's two whole tunnels right next to each other like this, or it's one big one like this and there's just kind of a boulder in the middle, so it's making it look like two, because I just can't tell. And this particular drone also has a heat sensing camera. So as it went by, two dark spots show up where the two tunnel things are, which means cold. Dark means cold, white means hot. That's how I had it set. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And there was a couple other spots that I go, you have to climb up to this, and it looks like there was maybe some rocks were put up to just kind of match the mountain. And if you just remove these they were kind of large rocks, it looked like there was another like entrance way in kind of a thing. But you cannot see any of this from any vantage point anywhere where you can stand on any part of that mountain, around the mountain, down below, very top. It's not seen, which is why we've never seen it. And I'm like, oh my God, we got to go back there next time. So again, I'd rather just fly my effing helicopter over there, land that son of a bitch, get out and be right there, rather than have to go way the F up the mountain, hour and a half up, get out of the vehicle. Now let's hike, bring your water, bring this, bring that. We're hiking for a good ways to get out to this area. Then we got to go down the side of a cliff to get down to the... Nah, I think we'll take the old Schweitzer and just we'll bring some water anyways, but the vehicle's right there. It's the helicopter. Okay, we're done. Let's climb right down there. Oh, there it is. Get in. Let's go. Straight shot. We're back in 10, 15 minutes. Done. We are going to be so effing spoiled. It's just not even going to be right. So I'm like, we got to go check this shit out. So we have all these different ones, and I'm like, well, which one do we focus on first? Well, I don't really know. But if that one, we can get into that one, the story, or I'll just tell you a piece of it, was there's enough gold bars. And someone on my Patreon, or someone, I'd mentioned a little bit of this one time, and they go, Joe, I've got a story for you, man. If you'll split it, I'll tell it to you. And no one really has this. He ends up sending me this story. So he knew the guy that gave it to me. And I'm like, you know him? He goes, holy shit, yeah. I go, oh, well, I got this already. I'm like, I appreciate you offering me 50-50, but I already have the thing, So he just sent me what he had anyways. It was pretty much kind of what I had. And I'm like, cool, great. And, but no one had ever found it. And there was one key thing on the map that should have been easily findable by all of us. And I won't say what that is, including me. And it's like, okay, it should be right here, and it's not there. So where everyone's like, no one's found anything there, and that's probably why the guy's like, well, I'll just give it to a couple of people and see if they can find it, because we've tried and we can't find it, but even though we think we're in the right spot. And I have a suspicion I know why. Now I do. But this tunnel thing that I saw with the drone is very close to that area spot. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's another way in. And the story says this Indian man was taking, over the years, and this is probably the 50s and 60s, gold a little bit at a time. He'd cash it in Mexico. That's typically what they did, because you weren't allowed to own it in, U.S. back then. Cash it in Mexico, live off it for a little while. He got older in age. And long story short, he gave the map to somebody and said, listen, I've taken enough out of there. I'm fine. There's still enough behind that's there in this cavern that you could fill the back of a pickup truck 3 feet high. So, of course, I'm like, okay, short bed pickup. How much does that equal if he's really true? If that's really a true statement. And I think I came up with, today's prices. It was like, honestly, I don't even know now because it's been a while. But I did like the math, and the space of a square, this many foot, square feet. It's probably in the $100 to $200 million range. Today's value. It's already minted. It's banished bars. Like, yeah, you'd have to melt them down, unfortunately, to get the gold out of it. Make it regular gold again. But nonetheless, that was the story. It was a good lead. I found a clue to the map that no one ever found to date before I even got the map. That let me know, oh my God, this is real. This is a real story. But no one's gotten in. So, man, I mean, I'm over here in Florida doing my little thing, but it's like, I want to be back over there. We need to get going, but we can't. Lockdown part 2, and, Canada, extra, they're just, going balls to the wall in some of these places. Australia, Canada's getting worse, Down here in Florida, it's freaking, paradise. No mask, no bullshit. Do what you want, eat how you want. Take a mask down and take a bite, put my mask back up to the airport. Morons. Not in Florida. But New Mexico isn't exactly a Republican-held state right now either. So they have some restrictions, but it's not bad, from what I understand. So regardless, that would not stop me. If I say, hey guys, time to go. Let's go. We're gonna go. And I don't think I'd fly the helicopter. There's too long to fly. Every 3 hours I'd have to land and get fuel, and you're putting time on the helicopter, and all components on the helicopter have life limit, and as you fly it, ticking off the time life of each individual component, which has different hours. They're all not the same. So I'm like, no, I'll trailer it out, take the blades off, trailer it out, have the blades put back on, which is, it's just 2 bolts in each blade. You're supposed to have an A&P do it, mechanic. Torque them down, whatever, done. You don't have to rebalance them. They're all color coded where they go in the right spot. Should be fine. But I would rather trailer it out there, don't put any time on it, and then it's out there, put the blades on it. Okay, now let's get it off of here. And I've got a little flatbed trailer I bought, like a car hauler, and I put a winch on the front of it so I could just easily slide the thing up. Because even if I'm really, really, really good of a pilot, become a good, and there's no wind, I could just easily set this thing right down on the trailer. I don't think I'm going to want to do that. It's just too close on the sides. It's like a 7-foot trailer, and the skids are like 6-point-something feet. You have inches on each side. No thanks. I have a effing winch the stupid thing up, and it has wheels. You tilt the helicopter in the back, pull the boom down into the center of gravity weight. You put the wheels down. It has 2 little wheels in the back that you just, there's a mechanism, you pull them down, put the lock pins in. Now you can pull the tail boom down and push the son of a bitch. In grass, it's extremely hard. On a tarmac or whatever, runway or cement, one person can do it. So all I need to do is land behind the trailer and just pull the winch out. Okay, attach this thing, done. And just slide it up. So that would be my plan. Tie it down at that point and that sort of thing. So anyways, a lot of long video here, but I just wanted to share this with you guys. The dream, little treasure hunter bonus for the people who are new around here, who didn't know me, JC, and Dave were doing this, and we haven't been there in like to do this in 2 years. COVID 2020, 2021. Now we're in 2022. I'm like, son of a man, we gotta. I'm ready. But it's like, no, the mountain's not ready because the shit that's going on. It's just a feeling we have. Like, you can't go back yet. Don't try to force your way in. You can't come in yet. And it's like, all right, fine. You know, that crypto went up. I bought a little helicopter. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, I got my helicopter. Let me learn how to fly the damn thing. Might as well, right? So that guy just left to go back to Georgia, my CFI trainer, and he's going to come back next week. We're going to do some more flying, and then we're going to actually both fly it up. I believe we're both going to fly it up to his place in Georgia where he can, because he's an A&P mechanic as well, where he's going to do my annual for me. And I bought a set of doors that have a triple latch locking system to keep them real nice and snug versus the old school ones that has one little thing to open the door. So he's going to convert that, just make sure the doors are the same, but one has a broken piece of the, it's not glass, it's like, plexiglass or whatever. So he's going to take one of my good ones out of my doors, put it in that one, put the system back in there, blah, 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 and get it hooked up for me. So honestly, like I said, I might have my private pilot here in less than 2 months, but we'll see. I'll keep you updated. At some point, I'll start taking some more video. I took one video I showed a while back, where we're just going over on the bay, in the Gulf of Mexico, right in the inlet area by the Skyway Bridge, and we're heading back. So, anyways, that's it, guys. Take it easy.